I'm Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called The Godkiller. And I am back from a trip to Idaho. I worked every day and I streamed every day, although I did just little 5-10 minute streams while I was there, and they were just status updates. And I see Jet Boy tried to chat with me while I was doing one of those little mini streams, but the chats were not visible to me with that setup. But I'm back home now. I'm doing my normal streams now. And yeah, I just got done driving 5 hours. This is probably going to be a short stream, but I wanted to make sure I got it out there. Not sure why I think that's important. But somehow it is. So yeah, let's demo. Let's follow the format. Let's do a demo. I can demo. I'm going to go back to the portal. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to unpack from my trip. And actually, the stuff I most recently worked on is not the portal, but I'm going to do the portal anyways. Because all that other stuff's on a laptop. I need to copy it over. I'm not in the mood to pull all that over and mess with it right now. And I did have some unfinished work on the portal to do. So maybe I'll use this stream for that. In fact, I will. I just decided. Now the very slow startup. Might hit play. I'm going to have to look into that at some point. Oh, it's good to be back home. In my normal place with my normal food and drinks. And anyways, demo. So the way that this level works, the very first level of the game, is that you can control yourself, but you're just still a speck on the screen. So I'm pressing the up, down, left, right keys and making myself move around. But it's hard to be able to tell what you're supposed to do in this level until the cameras come all the way down. And even then, there's not much of a clue. It's just this big yellow plane. But when you walk over certain squares, they pop up. And then you might, after a bit, notice, they seem to connect with each other. I might have to give one or two more clues for the player who just wanders away. This is the very first level of the game. But if you are a curious sort, I'm sure you would figure this out. I could have a mysterious voice saying, create the shape, open the portal, or something like that, you know. Kind of in the background. Okay, so after you make the shape, this little smoky thing pops up in the middle. And if you are, again, a curious sort, you're going to step onto it. I know you will. This is what happens. Okay. So that's it. And then it goes on to the next level. That's your introduction to the game. It's missing a few elements that make it like a proper introduction. One thing is I want this character to go down the hole with you. I could do that in this session. Like, she's not just supposed to be fixed in place. After she opens the portal, she's supposed to plunge right down through the middle of it along with the camera. So that involves a rotation or an animation. I could just rotate her and play the ascending animation. That would probably do it. I already have an animation that's used for ascending up this beam type thing. I could reuse that. Okay, so that's one thing I could do with this session. Maybe that's a good thing to do just on its own. The other thing there is that while you're coming down, way up here, you're supposed to see some text fly by you. The title of the game, The Godkiller. I don't think I'm going to do that in this session. I think it can wait. Let's do M, rotating and positioning her body to go down into the portal, and her body following the camera as it goes down. What is it about sitting down and talking that always gives me hiccups? I don't have hiccups any other time. See if I can get these hiccups to go away. Okay, also I've been wearing these pants for a 5-hour trip. Let me change out my pants. I'll be right back. It won't be long, I promise. All right, back to it. Oh, my ears popped. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's much better. I drove through the mountains and my ears always get all tight and cramped up. Okay. Oh, the portal. Let me start with making the player move with the camera. So I've got this code. That moves the camera. And one thing I see is that some of the points that are inside of it are being based upon the player's position. If I want the player to move as well, then I can't use that same position later on. So let's set Let's set a value. Yeah, the flare transform actually. Yeah, okay. So we'll set the flare position at the start. Well, it's already set here. So I can just, all the places where I'm relying on the player position, I can substitute them for the flare. Flare transform. Because it's in the same position as the player when the player steps on it, and that's really the thing. That's a more direct way of it's a more direct way of specifying what the camera's movement path should be. Call this plunge position. Well, again, we'll use the flare. Okay, that should work as before. The other thing I can do I'll use the camera, current camera position to set the player position. Make sure I didn't already set some variable that I could reuse. Nope. Okay. So I'll create a new accessor here. Let's get the angles too, because what I could do... Well, maybe I don't want to do that. I can see with this camera that I need to shave the back of my head a little bit better. Got a little bit of tail sticking out there. Okay, I don't know what I want to do for the rotation yet, so I won't write that code right away. First, I want to see everything else working. Okay, camera mover. No, detached camera mover, that's the one. Do I need the player transform anymore? Probably not. Let's take it out for now. That might do part of it. Let's see how that does. Although that seems to have an error. What's there? I don't think I need you anymore. Let's just get rid of you. Oh, but I will though when I add in the animation. So let's put that back. Okay. And hit play. Then take a lot of time executing something. I will have to look into that at some point. So I don't need to wait for that whole animation each time. Let me just come over here and do something else. Okay, I did this. Did all that. What script is so slow in execution at the beginning? Okay. That was almost good. I know I forgot. I know what I forgot. I do this all the time. This real simple, stupid thing. And actually, I definitely do need the player transform after all, so there. Now let's try it one more time. So I'm thinking, while I'm loading this, while I'm waiting for it to load, I'm thinking about what do I want to show. Now there's a song that's supposed to play while you're going down. And I want at some point in the song that matches the song, the title of the Godkiller, to kind of, you fly through it. Okay, so that illustrated one problem, which is if I don't wait for the camera to go all the way down, the animation's not going to look right. Other than that, I think it was fine. Well, so maybe let's look at this. It's a bit of an edge case, though. It's got to be somebody that's really doing it fast. That basically has gone through that level a whole bunch of times. I don't know if it's worth coding the stuff that would make it so that it's corrects or waits for the camera to go all the way down. Here, while I'm thinking about it, let me start it up again because it takes a while. Another question is, do I want the trail of the player as she goes down? I can turn it off. It's not hard to turn it off. So I mean, it's pretty hard to do it. Blondieton, good to see you. All right, let's see how this looks. Okay, then there was like that weird step off to the side. Huh. You made so much progress today. What kind of progress are we talking? Thank you. That's awesome. What, did you get something working on it? I don't know why when the animation started that which is cool. The funny thing about that is, like when you eat the apple, to make the snake get longer, you actually don't do something. You just don't remove the tail as you normally would. I'm a big fan of the snakes. I made a bunch of stuff in the past that was all snakes. Let me see if I can find some. I'm talking like snakes, like about snakes, like I know about snakes, but I actually do know about snakes. I'll show you. By the way, this is also a good source of graphics if you want some pre-made snake graphics. So I said, get help for a room. This is a game I made a long time ago. Let's see, we go to. Alright, which level has the snakes on it? Was it 9th? Yeah. Oh, it's not showing me because I haven't. This count hasn't. I haven't beat the room on. Let me see if I can find. Dang it. Just trying to show you. Oh, here we go. So, anyways, here's my snakes. Or if you want to see some really crazy snakes, snakes to the death. No, not those. Never mind. I won't try to find the exact thing. Anyways, if you probably got it all sorted out, but if you want some kind of 2D pixel art snake graphics for your game, there are some that are part of this game called Drawd that are open source. if you're interested, let me know. I'll dig up the URL for you. But also, you probably already sorted out what you want for your snake graphics, so no worries. All right, let me think of what's the best way to just make the camera stuff work without thinking too hard about it. Right now I'm making it match the camera. By the time it gets there, which two things you got? I mean, I can offer advice if you want, but if you don't, that's cool too. One thing is, I'm calling this thing a detached camera mover. It can just be a general purpose mover though. Instantiate objects into an array. Okay. I can't remember, are you doing this like in Unity and C#, right? Anyways, I think you did say earlier it was Unity and C#. But so just maybe okay, cool. Make it so the whole body doesn't turn when just the head turns. Okay, so let's take one at a time. Let's say public. What kind of things are in your array? Maybe I'll just say for now they're game objects. Create snake array. So then you say you want to create your array to start with. So this is like before you put anything in the array, you just want to make your array. Yeah, just temporarily. So just thinking about arrays, like the first thing is, do you know how many elements are going to be in your array to start? Because that would be an easy way to do it if you do. So say you know it's like 10. Okay, that's fine. Now you've got your array. That's your starting point. You have 0 elements to start, okay? But later on, I guess your array is going to grow. We'll have more elements, maybe one for each segment of the snake. Right, okay. So we'll say list game object. snake segments. All right, so that's maybe a little bit better. Let me say, boom. So list is like an array that can grow. So you told me, like, it starts out with 0. And this will do that. It's creating an empty array. Okay. Then there's let's leave it for the moment that there's something to instantiate the game object. Let's just say for now that that this creates your array, but you want it to say return it list game object. Okay, so that's how to create it. Okay. Oh, I need to return it though. So instead of assigning it, I can just say return. Okay. So then, if you wanted to add a new segment to it, actually say void add snake segment. You can pass in the snake array, or it's not an array anymore. Let's call it snake segments. Then you might say something like, where do I want the new snake segment to be at? Or you could pass in like a vector 3. Anyways, I think I might be making it too complicated. But okay, say you pass in the new game object that is going to be in your snake array. Then it's snake segments add game object. Okay. So that will add one element to this list that contains a game object. Okay. Then if you want to do something where you go look at everything in the list, look at list. You can do this. You can say for each game object, let's make it snake segment. And like whatever you want to do with your game object, you could do it here. So like maybe you want to I don't know. Let's say you just want to hide it. You could say enabled, transform. Set active, yeah. You could do that, for example. So anyways, I think list is a good one. Then you got that problem, which is unique to this game, that you won't have all of your game objects known when the game starts, because it's a growing thing. So I'm guessing that you want to have one game object for each segment of your snake, or each square of it that it fills. I might be wrong about that, though. You might be trying to do something else, but that would be one way to do it. Like you could say, I'll have one game object that will be there for each square. If that's what you were doing, then you'd want to be able to create one in the game. So for that, there's let's see. That makes sense. That makes sense. So let's think about this. So I could say that inside of our list of game objects, the first one in the list could always be the head, and then the second one is the one after the head, and so on until you get to the very end of the list, and that's the tail, right? And when you add a new game object, that'll basically be the tail. So let me make a new function. We'll call it I'm gonna do a little more here. I'm gonna hand it to you, and then you can use it to copy and paste or change it to work with what you're trying to do. So then, okay, so you want to, have you used prefabs yet? You know what prefabs are? You can do this. You can instantiate tail prefab. Yeah. This would be like a property that gets set on your object. You set it one time inside of a mono behavior class like this one. You just have a property, and you go in the inspector, and you drag over your asset for the tail, so that tail prefab property is set to be it. Then you can say instantiate, and you can take the game object. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to do a cast on it. Okay, so then you do that, and then you just add it to the end of your snake segments. Oops. All right, and there's a little more. There's a little more, but that's the basic. So what this does is it uses the prefab that you put in as a property to be like the pattern that's going to use to create this new instance of the tail, and then it returns that. After this comes back, when it returns back from here, it will have, inside of the game while it was playing, created a copy of that prefab, but inside of your scene. Then you got it, and you add it to your list, and there you go. You've got a growing list that has new game objects that are created as you need them. And then when you want to do stuff like move all the different segments forward one, then you would do like a traversal over your list like this, and write some code that like looks at the position of each one and sets it to the next spot. And yeah, it's cool stuff. Anyways, what I'll do is I'll copy all this stuff, and this is kind of an annoying way to send it to you, but I'll just dump it into the chat session. You can use it if you want. I should figure out a way to send snippets of code around. It's better than this. It's all unformatted and gross. Anyways, that's some stuff for you to play around with. But we should figure out a way though to like there's like websites. I'm not real able with them right at the moment, that you can like share code with each other and stuff. So if you ever want to send me a little bit of code you're having trouble with, that's okay. I'll look at it for a little bit. Anyways, back to all this stuff. Okay, so I was thinking like I could just use this same class again, but for the player, it's got a weird name. It's got some stuff in it that does seem to be tied to camera positioning. So that's one way I could do it. Let me list out some different ways I could do it. I'm already liking this one. I think what else? Yeah, I mean you put that in. It's like it's no magic spell or anything. You know, it won't quite work with the code you already wrote, and it doesn't do everything on its own. But maybe it gives you some of the basics. That give you some ideas on how you want to write your code. Yeah, I'll do the last one. Yeah, let's put it up here in aesthetics. what the late update was about, but I don't think I need to do that for this one. Can't use this. Let's see what else. Let's have it built in the move duration. Doing pretty good. Yeah, the thing is, I just drove 5 hours, and I'm home from a trip that I took, and so I'm not like 100%. I actually worked on the game this morning too. The work I did there is off of my other laptop. I gotta move that over tomorrow. So I just wanted to do just a little bit of work this evening and call it good, I think. But I'm happy to be back home with my regular computer and everything. Let's see. So move duration. Yoink this maybe. It was nice. It was Idaho, which, you know, it's not like a crazy different place, but I saw a few relatives and risked going to a restaurant a few times with the COVID and everything. Idaho doesn't have the same infection rate as Washington State does or Seattle area, so it's not quite as paranoid down there. So that was kind of nice. But I was a little bit nervous about eating around or being in public around some people that weren't doing the social distancing and the masks. But I guess it's a little bit of a chance to take, but it wasn't too risky. Let's see, his moving part. How is that used here? I don't think it is. Oh, okay. It's to exit out without doing a lot of work. Okay, so that's a good thing to retain. Let's keep that. What's your big idea to make it go faster? Yeah, it's pretty chill. I don't understand why. That's an improvement. I'm going to take it back out. Alright, so I'll take that. So I could make this so it's not a mono behavior, perhaps. If I have it be like just a constructor. so if I take out the mono behavior, yeah, it just wants to transform. So let's do that. Transform. All right, so I'll do that. Then we can come over to the egg portal util. Basically, I'm doing number 3. Okay. Okay, so instead of updating the player position to match the camera, I'm just going to more directly set where the player is going to be. And it can have a parallel but different path to its position. Could have it get to the location a little bit faster than the camera. I don't think that's quite right, because I want the player to move to a location under the camera. Let's do that. Okay, so now Player will go just underneath the camera. Then when we get to plunging, they'll plunge to the same location as the camera, but they'll get there a little bit faster. Which is kind of a way of cheating to get the offset without having to write this offset calculation again. It also might, I don't know, I'm guessing it'll give a nice feel to the animation. We'll see. Let's try it out. Ooh. No longer needed. Start this guy again. So slow, so slow, so slow. Here we go. This carefully. The player is not moving at all. Dang it, what happened? What did I do? What did I not do? Yeah. The thing that's killing me is it takes so much time to try out each one of these things. And normally I would make some kind of change that would stop it from taking so long, but I'm just so close to having it all the way done. I don't feel like making that change right at the moment. So what did I mess up? It's probably this stuff down here. No, but I see all this. This should be fine. I'm calling set target on it. Let me check my console. No, console's clean. No errors there. Might as well take this out. Nobody's calling that now. Oh, this is not getting called. That's the problem. That's the problem. Okay. So let's add back in something for that. Okay, I'm gonna do one thing though, because I really just want to know what takes so long when it starts. What is it that's taking so long? Okay, now there's a little bit of level load time. Okay, then it came here really fast actually. Okay, that was fine. That's fast. This one might be it right here. No, that one's fine too. All that stuff's pretty fast. Something else. Something else is taking a long time. Okay, let's break. Can I break right here? Where you at? It could be this initial serialization. Maybe all those pop walls. Yeah, that's it. Okay, got it. Then I know how to make this a lot faster. Okay, that's good. Perfect. Okay. Serialized field. Actually, I think this might actually be. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I've never used serialized field. Okay, so let me just look at that because I'm kind of curious about that myself. Okay, so this is helpful. If you want Unity to serialize your private fields, you can add this attribute. But it doesn't quite make 100% sense to me. Let me think. Hold on. Let's check this out a little bit more. Okay. So Unity gives you, when you do public, it does two things inside of the Unity framework. One is it will display the variable inside of the inspector as a property. The other thing it will do is use Unity serialization if you're doing something with scriptable objects, which is kind of like a built-in way of Unity to serialize things. I'm not sure if you know what serializing is, but basically it's taking the data and storing it to disk, and then later on it reads it back from disk, and then you have a persistent value setting that's there even if you close Unity or restart the game. That value will still be there. So if you say public, you get two things. You get the inspector and you also get the serialization. But suppose that you want a variable that is not visible in the inspector, but you want it to be serialized. Then you could use serialized field. And to make it a little more complicated, there's more than one way to serialize. So I use serialization in my code, but I don't use the built-in Unity serialization. I use the .NETs. So I have like similar keywords, but anyways, that's off on a tangent. But there's no worry about using public, instead of serialized field. I would use public. It's a little easier to make sense of when you read the code, I think. Okay, so a thing that I can do that will make this start a lot faster. I can disable it already is disabled. Okay, if it's already disabled, then I want some code that will not try to initialize the predictive stuff. Okay. I should make this better. Just have it be inside of here. Okay, so predictive boards. I've got predict down here. Okay, there's already code here that just exits. So that's good. So all my public methods predict. That one's covered. That one's private. This is public. Okay, that all looks good. So I'm guessing that change will let me play and start this level a lot faster, which would be welcome. Or I might have introduced a bug, which would be unwelcome. It does. Oh, it's so much better. That's fast. Good. I was like waiting like almost a minute for that thing to start up each time. It was taking so long to try out each change. Okay. So this will just show me what I already saw, but I'll look at it one more time. And then I think, yeah, I'll go ahead and try to do the animation too. Okay, so I can do the ascending animation. And then up at the top, I can flip her around and have her face downward. That won't take too long. And that'll be the end of my session once I get those working. That'll be a nice place to stop. It's always good to stop on after a good achievement. Okay. So here I want to, we'll just see what I did. Player ascended effect. So I've already got the code I want in there. So here I could hide the trails if I want, but I kind of like them. I think I'll keep them. So I need the animator util. It's just going to be this. Oh, no, this is for plunging. Okay, so it's up further up here. And there's a lot of code there. Let me start commenting it better. Okay. So the next part is I want to get some Euler angles pointing her down. See, 0. Here, I'll go inside of the editor and I'll figure out the exact angle by just rotating her. I think it's going to be nope, I'm wrong. It's not that. Was it X? I could do X. Yeah. Okay, so we go. This might work the first time. I give it a 73% chance of working the first time. $72.3. that the ascending? Oh, yeah, she's turning. Oh, she dove. She was diving. Oh, it worked the first time. Okay. Cool. I think that's a session. Alright. So Plunderton, like I said, I like to end on a good note. So I'm gonna call that the end of it. And keep going on the snakes, man. I think we can figure out a website to share code snippets too if you want to drop in some code at some point. I'll be on tomorrow, probably in the morning. You bet. Keep going on the snakes. Want to see them move. All right, I'll catch you later.